Hey guys, today's lesson is going to be pretty fast and easy. It's going to go ahead and go over some of the objectives that you see on the screen here. So one, we're going to learn to access the BJC curriculum. Officially today, we are going into the actual lessons that are set up for us so that way we can go through them and learn a little bit more about the BJC lessons or the curriculum that we're using. Also, number two, we're going to learn who Alonzo is. And three, we're going to use a loop to have Alonzo move to random places. We've actually already done something like this in the previous project where we had the art turtle move to random places. But now we're going to officially kind of dig a little bit deeper into that. And we're going to learn to use the hat block. So there are previous lessons where I've said don't worry about the order of things, don't worry about the algorithm. I just want you to get used to moving things around. Today I am going to ask you to pay attention to the algorithm that we're using. It's going to be very simple, nothing like the art one where it was very long and maybe a little bit complicated for some of y'all. This one is going to be very straight to the point. So first off, let me go ahead and get you started on how to access the BJC curriculum. On your browser, you're going to type in just that BJC curriculum. Might have misspelled that, but it's going to look something like this right here, the BJC curriculum. You're going to go ahead and click on that. And in the middle, you should get a little button that says try the curriculum. And you should get a web page that looks something like this. Alright, you're going to click Unit 1, Introduction to Programming. And you're going to go into the second lesson here, Lab 1, Lesson 2, Programming a Game. There are a ton of instructions here that you can read, and if you feel comfortable with Snap, you can go ahead and do these on your own. I usually will make the videos for you. I think it's a lot easier just to go ahead and explain it instead of having to read through it. Some of them do get a little, just the words are kind of complicated. I think by making these videos, I'm able to help you a little bit faster. On the second instructions right here, you are going to have a little button that says click here to load starter project, save the project to Snap. So we're going to go ahead and do exactly that. Once you click on it, you're going to get Unit 1, Lesson 1, click Alonzo. So this is Alonzo. This is going to be the BJC curriculum mascot, and we're going to use him a lot throughout the lessons. All right. First off, I want you to notice is these three things right here. You have the scripting area. That's where our code goes. You have costumes, and then you have sounds, which is something that we'll go ahead and go over later. All right. Right now, we're just going to worry about the script and the costumes. So the script is, again, where the code goes, and the costumes are costumes that the sprite is going to wear. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use these later and how to add costumes of your own liking. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and use Alonzo. Notice that there are two costumes here, which is Alonzo facing to the right and then Alonzo facing to the left. The goal of the lesson is to go ahead and make Alonzo move to random places on the stage. Again, the stage being this area right here. This is the stage. We're going to make a move to random places on the stage while changing costumes. And we're going to do that several times using a loop and using a starter block. If you do not know, we already got over what the loops are, but we haven't gone over what the starter blocks are. This should not take too long as it's only 3 or 4 blocks that you need to know, but you do need to understand what's going on this one, because later on you will have assignments where I'll ask you to go ahead and make something that moves to a random place, and you might have some questions as to what numbers to use exactly. All right. First thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and look at the starter blocks. Before, when I use a block, so do not repeat this. This is just me giving you an example. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you when to start repeating things. Notice how when I click on the block itself, that's when Alonzo starts moving the 10 steps, right? Well, we are no longer going to click on the blocks. We're actually going to use a starter block to make Alonzo. We're going to click on draggable so I can drag him back over here. To make Alonzo move, to start an algorithm. And for that, we are going to use a hat block. If I go into control, you're going to see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 hat blocks that are available. Sorry, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That are available. We're just going to start with the main one, which is this first one that has the green flag. The green flag you can see repeated over here on the right edge. So let's go ahead and drag this part you are going to do. Let's go ahead and drag the green flag onto the scripting area. So now instead of clicking on the algorithm itself, we can go ahead and click on the green flag to make the algorithm start. So after this, I'm going to go and take it's going to go into motion, and I'm going to make Alonzo go to a certain spot in the stage. If you remember from the last lesson, the stage is actually broken up into an X and Y axis. I'm going to try to draw this as best as I can with my mouse. So just like the coordinate plane in algebra, you have an X and Y axis. This is going to be X, and this is going to be Y. Alright, where the middle, right here, would be the coordinate 0, 0. Okay? I'll try to draw my parentheses there like so. Sorry about the messiness, but I'm trying to do this with the mouse. Yeah, so this would be 0, 0, right here, right in the middle. Okay, so you want Alonzo to move right to the center, you would go ahead and click the go to 0, 0. Let's go ahead and try that now. Put Alonzo, let's go ahead and put him somewhere else first, and then I'm going to go ahead and put 0, 0, and there you go. He moves to the center. Alright, so since it's 0, 0 here, you're going to have a positive y coordinate up here, a negative y coordinate down here, a negative x coordinate here to the left, and a positive x coordinate here to the right. What number does it go up to? Well, we can go and see down here where we click on, again, motion, and I can click on these two reporters that will actually report where Alonzo is. So Alonzo here can go all the way to 255, I believe. Let me double check that right now. So on the x-axis, the maximum it's going to go is going to be negative 240. Right there. It could go further, but that just means that Alonso's not going to be on the actual stage anymore. So the stage ends at negative 240 right there. And it ends on this side at positive 240. For the y-axis, it's a little different to where it's half of the x-axis, so it's positive 180 and negative 180 right here. Again, it can go further than that. There's going to be times where you move your sprite or Alonzo to a certain position, and it's going to not appear. It's going to show that it's gone because it's gone beyond the stage. So yes, the sprite itself for Alonzo can actually go beyond the stage, somewhere where you cannot see it. In that case, you would have to move it back to the middle, like so. All right, and so right now all we're going to do is going to go ahead and change our x and y axis. We're going to go here to operators and give it a random number, just the way we did the sprites on the art project. So we're going to pick a random number from 1 to 10. Pick a random number from 1 to 10. But if I wanted to move to random places inside of the stage, I'm not going to use 1 to 10. I'm actually going to use the max coordinates for my x-axis, which is, if you remember, is negative 240 to positive 240. Remember this for the exit ticket, 240. Then for the y-axis, it's going to be negative 180 to positive 180, like that. So now I can go ahead and click on the green flag. Notice that now I'm not clicking on the algorithm anymore to run it. I'm clicking on this green flag, and the green flag allows Alonzo to move to different places around the stage while still being able to see it. If I were to put numbers that were less than negative 240 or greater than 240, then that's risking me putting Alonzo somewhere where it's not going to be on the stage, right? Now, I want to go ahead and do this over and over. So let's use I want you to think about this a little bit. Would I need to just copy this over and over and over, duplicate? I mean, I guess I could if I really wanted to, right? But it's not really going to make a lot of sense because I would just be repeating everything slowly. If I go to the stepping tool right here, you're going to see that it does everything a little slow. Alright, you know what, this isn't really efficient. I'm deciding to go ahead and use one of the blocks that I already learned about, and that is my repeat a certain amount of times. So this next loop that I'm going to show you is actually going to be a new one called a forever loop. This is going to do something forever. Notice how I went ahead and just put it connected to the hat block, and then I moved my go to x-axis, y-axis inside. But there's going to be a little problem where if I hit run without the stepping, I hit run, it actually does this very quickly, because that's how fast the loop is actually going to go, right? If I wanted to slow down, I can just add a wait block here at the end. So if I go, let's see where it's at. All right, so this is actually a good problem that I'm having, only because let's say that for some reason you cannot find it. I found it right here, but let's say you can't find a block that you're trying to look for, and it gets a little tedious because there's so many blocks. You can always use this search bar right here, and I'm gonna just type in wait, and there you go. All right, you have a wait until, but for my my block here, or my algorithm, sorry, I'm just gonna use a wait 1 second. Now it doesn't matter if I put it at the bottom or the top. In this case, the order is not going to matter, because I'm either going to wait first, run my block to where it moves to a random position, or it's going to move to a random position and then wait, right? In this case, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and put it at the end. So you see that now that it waits 1 second. Last thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and change the costume so that he actually changes the way he's facing every time the loop goes through. So I'm going to go back to scripts, and I'm going to go into looks, and I believe it's right here. Change costume, next costume. And I'll put that here at the end. So now every time Alonzo moves around, he changes costumes. Okay, and that's it for today. Make sure you save this again. Save this as Unit 1, Lesson 1, click Alonzo. Make sure you are logged in. This cloud should be completely dark. Or not dark, completely filled in with white. Just like so. File, save as. Again, I'm going to show you how to save it. I'm going to save. There's already one there for me. I'm going to go ahead and press yes, because we're going to do all of them all over again. And then file, save as one more time. Go ahead and go and find my Unit 1, Lesson 1, click Alonzo, which is right here. I'm going to click on it, and that's what I'm going to share. You're just going to say share, right? Just like this. You're just going to say share just like this. So you click share, make sure it's highlighted. Then you're going to press yes, and this is the link you're going to turn into the forms. All right? And that form, I'm also going to I'm going to go ahead and put the exit ticket. Sorry, I'm not going to put the exit ticket on the forms. I'm going to put the exit ticket on the teams using formative. So make sure you can log into formative and finish the exit ticket. All right, that's it for today. Thanks.